afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the South Carolina Public Service Commission's weekly business meeting. I call this meeting to order. Before we take our roll call, let's have a brief moment of silence. Thank you very much. We're going to have a roll call here, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Commissioner Williams is present in the hearing room.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Commissioner Belzer is present in the hearing room.
Commissioner Caston.
Present virtually.
Commissioner Urban.
Present virtually due to COVID-19.
Commissioner Thomas.
Present virtually.
And Commissioner Powers.
Present in the hearing room.
And Chairman Williams is present. Attorney Butler, would you please read the agenda?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, and good afternoon. The first order of business would be to set the next commission meeting, and Mr. Chairman, staff would recommend setting the next business meeting at the call of the chairman.
That sounds good to me.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, we have a supplemental transportation agenda item. This is docket number 2020-163T. Application of Palmetto Interstate Movers, LLC for a Class E household goods certificate.
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I move that the commission approve the application of Palmetto Interstate Movers, LLC for Class E household goods certificate. Palmetto Interstate Movers filed a revised bill of lading and a revised tariff to conform those documents to testimony presented at the hearing. And I move that we approve their application.
All right, hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll have a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Commissioner Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belzer votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
And Chairman Williams votes aye. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, we'll move to the regular utilities agenda item. At this time, item number 1, docket number 2004-48C, application of Spectratel Incorporated.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Powers.
in this case, it's recommended the commission approve the corporate reorganization as described in the application and transfer Spectratel's CPCN to touch-based communications. The corporate reorganization will not result in any change to service rates, terms, and conditions offered to customers, and customers will continue to be served in the same manner as they are currently being served. This will have no prejudice to the customer. The reorganization will be transparent to customers, and all current managerial, technical, and financial resources available to Spectratel will remain available to touch-based communications. Notice of this matter was timely published, and no person or party has intervened. ORS did file a notice of appearance. And Attorney Leslie Hammonds represents ORS and has not filed any objection or comment regarding Spectratel's requests. The recommendations in accordance with this, I would make a motion. I would move that the commission approve the corporate reorganization request of Spectratel, Inc. and transfer its certificate of public convenience and necessity to Spectratel of the South, LLC, doing business as touch-based communications.
Thank you, Commissioner Powers. Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Commissioner Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer. Commissioner Caston.
Votes aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. That would be docket number 2014-346-WS. Request for reconsideration by Defusky Island Utility Company.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Urban.
I move that we deny the request for reconsideration of Commission Order Number 2020-700. DeFosky Island Utility Company did not address the criteria for reconsideration found and required by South Carolina Code Section 58.5.330 and the Commission's regulations. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Urban. Hearing Commissioner Urban's motion, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I am recused on this docket and will not be participating in discussion or vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. Commissioner Williams.
Commissioner Williams votes aye.
Oh, I thought you had some discussion, Commissioner Williams. We have not moved to the roll call vote yet. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer is recused. Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Staff would recommend that the commission take up items 3, 4, 5, and 6 together. Those are docket numbers 2020-229E, 2019-182E, 2019-170E, and 2019-169E, and they're all related to a petition to intervene on behalf of Alder Energy Systems, LLC.
Thank you, Attorney Butler. I accept your recommendation. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Williams.
the Commission has historically found that it serves the public interest to allow interested stakeholders the opportunity to intervene unless the intervention will cause delay or prejudice. In this case, no party is suggesting that that will be a problem and subject to any prejudice or delay in any of the dockets. So given that, I move that the Commission grant the motion of Alder Energy Systems, LLC to intervene in each of the dockets listed in items 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alder Energy, LLC has presented a clear showing of its substantial interest in the proceedings, and while the petition was received out of time in item number 4, which is docket number 2019-182E, no party has objected in that docket or any of the other 3 dockets to the request of Alder Energy Systems, LLC, and participate as a party of record. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belzer votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is docket number 2020-245E, having to do with the petition of the electric co-ops of South Carolina.
Thank you, Attorney Butler. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor, sir.
I move that we grant the petition of South Carolina Cable Television Association to intervene and participate as a party of record. The petitioner has presented a clear showing of its substantial interest in this proceeding. No party has objected, and no party will be subject to prejudice nor delay. The clerk is instructed to add South Carolina Cable Television Association as a party of record. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Powers. Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, Commissioner Thomas. Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, sir, that would be item number 8, 2015-163E. This is an application of Duke Energy Progress. We have a request for change of party name.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Urban.
I move that we approve the requests by Walmart Stores East LP and Sam's East Inc. To change their name on the docket to Walmart Inc. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Urban. Hearing Commissioner Urban's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, this is docket number 2005-83A, and staff is presenting for commission consideration the establishment of a procedural schedule for future electric fuel and purchase gas adjustment proceedings.
Is there a motion?
Chair Williams,
Commissioner Caston.
based on all the responses by the interested parties and stakeholders, I move that we adopt the following schedule as filed in the docket management system for this docket on September 8th, 2020, which is attached as Exhibit A. I further move that we instruct the clerk's office to notify the parties and to use this schedule, formula, or time periods between pre-filed testimony, hearing, and proposed orders as established by this schedule for year 2021 and year 2022 in the years following the future electric fuel and purchase gas adjustment proceedings regarding the respective entity. So moved.
Thank you for your motion, Commissioner Caston. Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belzer votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Powers votes aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is item number 10, docket number 2020-186E. It's a complaint of Mrs. Alley versus Dominion Energy, South Carolina.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Williams.
Mrs. Alley has requested that the commission withdraw her complaint. I move that the commission grant Mrs. Alley's request to withdraw and dismiss her complaint.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? I would just like to say to the commission staff, I appreciate the hard work on this matter. I know that there were several issues regarding trying to identify Miss Alley and communicate with her, and my understanding is that the staff went to great lengths to make sure that the ex parte rules were followed, that all parties were notified and participated in any and all communication regarding this matter, and the commission was prepared to help Miss Alley the best they could within the rules. And based on my understanding, once she understood the matter, once she understood the matter, she decided to withdraw her complaint, and the commission, has the opportunity to do that. But it makes me feel good to know that our staff and other parties are prepared to help ratepayers when they have issues they want to raise with the commission. So I'd just like to thank the commission staff for your hard work on this matter. Any more discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Commissioner Belzer votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thomas votes aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Powers votes aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, sir. Item number 11 is docket number 2020-248-E. This is a joint request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Lone Star Solar, LLC, to toll a milestone payment deadline.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Caston.
On October 16th, 2020, the parties jointly requested that the commission toll or stay of the Milestone 2 financial payments guarantees from Lone Star Solar LLC, also known as Lone Star, to Dominion Energy, South Carolina Incorporated, Dominion, due on or before October 26, 2020. The hearing officer temporarily tolled the obligation of Lone Star Solar until the commission can act upon the request today. See Directive Order 2020-103H. I move that we grant the joint request of Dominion and Lone Star and toll the requirement for Lone Star to make Milestone 2 to DESC for the limited period of 45 days from today or until December 14th, 2020. This requested tolling of the due date for Milestone 2 is limited as Dominion claimed, such as, in quotes, limited extension of time will not adversely affect lowered queue customers, quote. This will allow the parties to continue their negotiations of a revised due date and a revised milestone table. I further move that the parties report to the commission on the status of their negotiations, including but not limited to when or if revised milestone 2 due date or milestone table is reached. This report should be provided to the commission within 30 days from today or November 30th, 2020, with the appropriate filing in this docket. Additionally, nothing herein shall change or alleviate the requirement that the parties obtain approval from the commission regarding any interconnection agreement or any amendment to the interconnection agreement. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion?
Commissioner Williams has a question.
Please proceed, Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I'm curious if the 45 days was a reasonable time frame based on what Dominion or Lone Star was contemplating that was needed.
Well, I think, if I may, Commissioner Caston and Commissioner Williams, from my understanding, there was not a specific amount of time requested by the parties. In fact, I think the language they used was limited extension of time. And quite frankly, if Commissioner Caston did not limit the period to 45 days, I question whether or not I would be able to support the extension. But considering that the joint request by the parties asked for a limited extension, 30-day report back deadline and a 45-day extension, I would imagine should address this issue. But from my reading of the request, there was not a specific request for a certain amount of time. So that's a long way of saying I don't know if I don't know if it's reasonable or not, because the request was vague.
Thank you.
Commissioner Caston, did you have any comments on that?
No, sir, but I concur with your analysis there. That was somewhat open. So I think it more prudent to establish a timeline and go from there.
And I totally agree with I totally agree with you there, Commissioner Caston, in terms of it being prudent that we put a hard deadline on the parties. I definitely want parties to work out their issues without the need for the commission to get involved in matters that they don't need to get involved in. But at the same time, we're responsible for keeping the dockets moving, and we just can't let matters blow in the wind without some action being taken at some point, from my perspective.
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer?
even with those comments, my thinking on this would be that if we reach the 45 days and there's still no settlement, or if the parties indicate that they are still in good faith negotiations, that they could seek additional time. Is that not correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We may want to hear more at that time, but there's nothing in this motion, from how I understand it, that does not allow for another extension.
Thank you.
Commissioner Powers? All right, if there are no further questions, comments, or discussion, we'll take a roll call vote. District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belser votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin. Commissioner Irvin. We'll go back to Commissioner Irvin. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers. Commissioner Powers, if you would press your mic.
Powers votes aye.
Thank you, Commissioner Powers. Chairman Williams votes aye. Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that would be item number 12. This is docket numbers 2019-169E and 2019-170E. Duke Energy Progress, Duke Energy Carolinas seek changes in filing deadlines and seek other relief as well.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Powers, you have the floor, sir.
Mr. Chairman, on October 16th, 2020, the Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC, known collectively as the Duke Companies, request a one-week extension from January 6, 2021, the date set in the notice of hearing and pre-filed testimony deadlines, to provide the order of witnesses to be presented during the hearing, whether there's an objection to taking direct and rebuttal or surrebuttal testimony together during the hearing, and whether or not there's a desire to use panels of witnesses. I move that we grant the request of the Duke Companies for a one-week extension to January 13th of 2021. Duke Companies also requested that the clerk's office of the commission establish 2 new dockets for Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and for Duke Energy Progress LLC, respectively, for consideration of Duke Companies' solar choice tariffs, as well as an intervention deadline no later than November 9th of this year. Previous filings from the Duke Company state that a comprehensive and collaborative filing of its solar choice net metering plan will be filed on November 2nd, 2020. Once the solar choice filings are made by the Duke Companies, the clerk's office will open a new docket for each company regarding its solar choice tariff, and an intervention deadline will be set by the clerk's office to provide for any interested person to file a petition to intervene. For ease of administration, I also move that any person or entity which has been granted the status of intervenor by the Commission to participate as a party of record in docket 2019-169-E or docket 2019-170-E be automatically be named and designated as an intervenor and party of record in the new dockets to be established by the clerk's office when the Duke Companies submit their solar choice filings. Further move that the clerk's office use the same procedural schedule from dockets 2019-169-E and 2019-170-E for the new dockets once the filing is received and the new docket is open.
Thank you, Commissioner Powers, for your motion. Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belser votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thomas votes aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Powers votes aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, we will move to the transportation agenda. At this time, that completed the utilities agenda. The first
Absolutely,
item
sir.
on the transportation agenda is docket number 2020-244T, the application of Carolina Breeze Taxi LLC for a Class C taxi certificate.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Williams.
I move that we approve the application of Carolina Breeze Taxi LLC for a Class C taxi certificate conditional on the applicant filing incorporation documents from the South Carolina Secretary of State with this commission.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belzer votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Call the next agenda item, please.
Yes, sir. Item number 2 on the transportation agenda is docket number 2020-246-A. Is a request for procedural change for Class E household goods movers applications.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Irvin.
while I believe that Attorney Tarini's concern addresses a problem that deserves a solution, I do not recommend that the interim approval that Mr. Trini is proposing is appropriate. It could cause confusion for the mover to operate without a certificate from ORS. It would be clearer and more direct pathway for the party to provide a proposed order through their attorney at the time of the hearing for consideration review by the commission. This would save some time. This is an option. It's not going to be mandatory, but if an attorney representing the applicant wishes to propose to the commission a formal written order at the time of the hearing, then we will consider it at that time. Of course, the applicant must be or come into compliance with all commission rules and regulations prior to the issuance of a Class E household goods certificate from the Office of Regulatory Staff, which would follow the order of the commission to ensure that the public safety and interest is protected and to balance the economic needs and demands of the business. We did receive a letter from the Office of Regulatory Staff and believe that it is important for the ORS to continue to review compliance with all commission regulations prior to the issuance of a certificate. There is no change in that process or responsibility of the Office of Regulatory Staff. The applicant shall be required to obtain a certificate issued by the Office of Regulatory Staff prior to operation. The commission will continue to examine and monitor the matter in hopes that we can accommodate parties that have deadlines for submitting orders. As you recall, we have had situations where at the hearing a tariff had to be amended or a bill of lading had to be modified. So in any event, if that occurs at the hearing, a formal written order can be proposed and submitted to the commission, and we'll consider it at that time. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Hearing Commissioner Irvin's motion, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Thank you. Commissioner Irvin, when you use the phrase that the formal proposed order can be considered at that time, are you saying that you want the rule from the bench on that order?
I think it'd be more appropriate for the staff to review it to ensure that everything has been complied with. So the answer is no. I think that the better practice would be for us to allow our legal staff to review it and determine that it's make a recommendation to the commission as to whether or not we approve it at a later time.
I appreciate that clarification because I like to review the proposed orders myself, and if it's handed up at the hearing or even slightly before the hearing, I like to have a chance to view that proposed order in light of the evidence that's presented at the hearing. So I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding the motion. I really appreciate that clarification. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Vice Chair Belzer, excuse me. And thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Any other discussion? Commissioner Urban, I appreciate your motion. Also could appreciate Attorney Torini's motion, not motion, but his request. As a lawyer, he's advocating on behalf of his client, and really what he's asking for, from my understanding, is for his client to get in business sooner rather than later. It's a fair request, but it still doesn't remove the responsibility that we have to make sure that everything is in order, and also the responsibility that ORS has to issue that Class C certificate. And that's after we issue our order. So I think that this matter being brought to our attention will definitely help us track how fast we're getting those orders out. It should not be an unreasonable amount of time or unreasonable delay from the time we make our decision to the time that order is issued, so ORS can move forward with their responsibilities. So I appreciate you bringing attention to this matter by way of your motion asking that we continue to evaluate and track what we're doing here by way of getting orders out at the commission.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just add, even after the order is issued, ORS, I believe, goes behind and makes sure that the clauses of the order are adhered to, that things that have to be filed, such as the Form Es and Form H's indicating liability and cargo insurance for household goods carriers are received. And those are received from the insurance carrier. Those are not things that the carrier themselves can file with ORS. So those need to get over there. They make sure they've got the final tariff, the bill of lading, and everything else. And so if the carriers are able to make their changes, corrections, or filings and whatever may be necessitated to conform to the order, once it gets to ORS, I mean, they've got to make sure they've got the documentation in hand before they can issue. So, it's a process that we all have to work together, the commission, the applicant, and ORS, to ensure that these things get out timely.
Well said. Well said. If there's no more discussion, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belzer votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that would be item number 3 on the transportation agenda, docket number 2020-173-T, application of Timmy Hayes Moving LLC to amend its tariff.
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I move that the commission approve the amended tariff as proposed of Timmy Hayes Moving LLC. The tariff rates proposed in the application are in line with what we see for the Tariff Bureau, and in some number of cases are lower than what's filed for the Tariff Bureau.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belzer votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, sir, that would be item number 4, docket number 2020-207T, the application of Salt Marsh Ventures LLC, DBA Two Men and a Truck of Beaufort, for approval to amend its tariff.
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I'm going to move that the commission carry this item over. There are a couple of issues with the filing that the carrier should have the opportunity to address before we vote on the requested amendments to the tariff. First, the carrier needs to address the spelling of its name on the amended tariff. Second, the carrier should review section 2.11 pertaining to a hotel fee. As written, the carrier could charge the hotel fee based solely on mileage. There's nothing in that provision indicating that an overnight stay is required for the fee to be charged. I'd also move that the carrier be allowed until no later than Friday, November 6, 2020, to address these items. After that date, I believe the commission will consider the proposed tariff amendments with or without any further revisions from the carrier. Mr. Chairman, not part of the motion, but just as explanation, these were a couple of items that we identified that had some problems with it, and I just think it's fair to give the carrier a quick opportunity to address these before we vote on it, if they want to address it. If they don't, I'm ready, we can address it for them.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a roll call vote. District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belser votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Powers votes aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is item number 5, docket number 2020-150-T. This is the application of Checkmate Transportation LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I move that the commission approve the request of Checkmate Transportation LLC to amend its Class C non-emergency certificate number 9535 to reflect statewide authority.
Thank you for your motion, Vice Chair Belzer. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a roll call vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Williams votes aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Belser votes aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thomas votes aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Powers votes aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Please call the next agenda item.
Mr. Chairman, that completes the transportation agenda, and we have completed also the utilities agenda.
Thank you, Attorney Butler. Thank you all out there for joining the commission for its weekly business meeting. This meeting is adjourned.